Well, my backpack is ready once again for a cycling adventure. I'm at Cross-Iron Mills and they have some kind of a circus going on here. So I grabbed some coffee and now I was preparing my route. Here's my old city super professional single speed on a $200 bike carrier. So it works very well, very easy to use, except it's hard to lock the bike, you know, like I went for coffee and I was afraid, so I brought the lock. But how do you lock it? Because all these things are removable, you know, like all the pins, like for a thief to steal this bike, it's not that complicated. But I figured this main bar, there's a bolt in there, so you need to unscrew the bolt, you know, which would not be as quick as, let's say, at first I put I put the cable through their frame, but then around this, and I'm thinking, wait a second. So all they have to do, just undo this thing, take this off, and you can just lift the bike. And of course, undo the straps. Easy peasy. Anyway, what we're doing now, the payment got declined for my ride with GPS. And they said, well, before you, it was $79.99. I don't know, US or Canadian, probably US. And they sent me an email that said your payment got declined. I didn't have enough money on my debit card. And then they said, but if you apply again, you know, if you subscribe again within the next, I forgot, a day or so, we'll give you a price of $59.99 and we'll match it for a basic service, but we'll increase it to premium at no cost to you. So basically I could have saved 20 bucks, but I said, I think it's all a scam, all these bike apps. You know, I feel better just thinking where I want to go and paying attention, you know, when I'm driving my truck, just paying attention to roads. And I was on this road before, I mentioned this, right? So that's the plan, to go 20 kilometers. What is this, 21 or, hold on, I have to take off my glasses. 23. So it's 23 kilometers from where I am at Cross-Iron Mills over here. Right, so I'm gonna leave my car here and I have to go that way, actually over there. Where's the bridge? That's Highway 566, and it's pretty much flat and it goes all the way east until it ends at Highway 9, which is like a major highway. And at first I thought I would do like a big kind of like a circle, you know, take 566 to 9 and then 9 south to what is that, Range Road, which is actually Country Hills Boulevard, and go back. But instead I think I'll just I'll go that way 23 kilometers and it'll just come back, but that'll be only 46. So maybe on the other way I'll venture into the boonies over there where there's green in here. Because when I tried this, the same simple route, I put the dot on intersection between Highway 9 and 566. When I tried that on Apple Maps, for some reason it sent me like on a detour. But what's interesting I found is that Apple Maps has two features. Basically comparing these three for cyclists, like Waze has no bicycle route option. It's only for cars, so not good. So that leaves Apple Maps and Google. And Apple Maps, it has a bicycle route. You just click on the bicycle instead of a car, and it has two very cool features. One is called Avoid Hills, and the other one, there's like a square that you can select, and the other one is Avoid Busy Roads, you know. And I tried that, and of course it takes you on a like this, and I still see the elevation was 200 meters, the same as on this one. So yeah, but at least they have these two features. So I'm definitely going to be using Apple Maps in the future for a bike. But for now, because it was giving me Apple Maps was sending me into the forest over there, I just chose I opened Google Maps. You see I chose bicycle, and I just put my finger on the intersection between Highway 9 and 566, and that's it. All I have to do now is click the button start, But first I have to finish my coffee, get ready to prepare the bike, and it's getting hot, so I think I'm gonna take off my jacket, and I have shorts underneath. I will just ride like that. I have plenty of water because I'll be gone probably 3 hours. So yeah, trying to break my own record. Before I did what, 42 kilometers? Need to do 50 today. Looks like busy today, lots of people here. But I specifically parked my car at the very end of the parking lot, and the old trucking trick, you try to park like this, you see, so nobody can park on this side. So if somebody can hit me, it's only from this side. Well, it's not as bad with cars, right, but as with trucks. But man, whenever my semi-truck was hit, it was always in the parking lot. Now, only once I had an incident on the road. All right, my wallet, keys, cameras on my head. I have water. Where's my water? Yeah, I have 4 bottles of water, and that one is full. Well, lead on, Miss Google. Oh, by the way, what's the time now? Time now is 10:58. Okay, so 11 o'clock. All right. According to Google Maps, it'll take me 1 hour and 5 minutes to reach Highway 9. And it's still confused. Why are you confused? Oh, because there's no exit. All right.
Head northeast toward HWY.
We'll make an exit. Stupid Google cannot find where I'm going. What's going on? Like the arrow is pointing this way, but all the directions are the other way. Well, if it keeps doing this, we're switching to Apple Maps, because the highway is right there. That's the 566 where the truck is. And like I said, I chose that one because I drove there with my truck at work, and I noticed. Yeah, I see 566, but why is the arrow still pointing sideways? I never saw this before. You know, normally the arrow should point, you know, north. So you're gonna be sideways all the time now? Yeah, it's sideways. I see I'm on the shoulder. You see how wide the shoulder is? All right.
Head east on Alberta 566. Starting route to 262,086-262,198 Range Road 272.
All right, so switch to Apple Maps, but that's the.
At the next light, turn left.
Yeah, I see this one for some reason sending me. I don't know why. Sending me this way to the next major road and then continues. If here there's no road for a bike, which is BS. So yeah, we had a small hill.
Turn left onto Range Road 293.
Request denied. Because according to Apple Maps, if I do it like that, it'll be 30 kilometers to Highway 9 as opposed to, what was it, 23? The only problem with this road is that it's a bit busy. But Highway 9 is the same like this, also very wide shoulders.
Turn left onto Range Road 292.
Okay, so now it's gonna keep doing this bullshit, trying to send me left or north. Why are you doing this? See, it wants me to go like this. I just muted the volume. Like, look at the shoulder. The shoulder is as wide as the lane. So nothing wrong with riding a bike here. Oh, actually, there's a sidewalk over there. But technically, I'm not supposed to be on the sidewalk. See, this is a great road. Unless, of course, somebody can veer on the shoulder. I wanted to bring my safety vest. I have like 3 of them, but they're all at work. I forgot to take one on Saturday, yesterday, when I worked. The only issue here is we have some rocks on the shoulder. I don't want to hit those because they can cut my tire, and then I'll have to walk or call Uber. I don't have any spares with me. I do have tools, but just some basic tools in case my seat needs to be adjusted. Yeah, and I think after the next light we're getting kind of like open fields. The wind is a bit strong. I hope it doesn't blow like this for an hour, but we'll see. But generally speaking, going east in Calgary is supposed to give you a flatter routes as opposed to going west towards the mountains. Somebody commented on my handlebars. Some guy said they're too wide. Well, it's all personal preference, right? I personally love this because it allows me so many positions. I can do this, and if my hands get tired, I can do this, and then I can put my hands in here, and then I can put them in the middle. I don't like those curved, you know, racing handlebars. But with my new bike, the new bike is coming next week. It'll have that modern handlebars with like the end sticking in the air. You know, not curved like this, but going up. It's all country here, just a few minutes away from the shopping center, and on my left it's all big estates with large parcels of land. Yeah, over there's lots of industrial stuff. Some warehouses or something. And you see the shoulder, well, it becomes a bit more narrow than before, further down, but it's still pretty wide. Much wider than, for example, on Country Hills Boulevard that goes in the same direction, just south. Once it crosses the Ring Road 201, it becomes a range road. I forgot the number, like 564, 562, something like that. See, super peaceful over here, just fields and prairie dogs trying to get run over. Off it goes. Yeah, the story with that parakeet was a bit tragic. I mean, the end, I kept it for 2 days. You know, I went to work on Saturday, so I left it at home, made sure all the windows were closed, and I left a bowl of water, and I cut up some veggies and some nuts. Didn't have any seeds. This thing never looked even at them. You know, I put her on that plate, on top of the plate with the veggies. She runs away. Doesn't even sniff him or pays any attention, so I didn't want to eat. But then second day when I came from work, I start looking, where is the pretty bluebird? And it's sitting on top of a door in my laundry room. So I extend my hand, it's not running away, it allows me to take it, and then I open the palm and it walks up my arm on my shoulder and sits behind my neck, you know. Okay, then I went to the sofa to watch TV and put her on the carpet. 2 minutes later it flew in the air and landed on my head and was sitting on top of my head. So clearly she's accustomed to people. It's somebody's pet. But she wasn't eating anything. I wasn't sure what to do with her. I never had a parakeet or canary before, so I brought her food outside and I put her outside on my patio. It was sitting there. It started eating some leaves from the tree. It seemed definitely more happy, but then I think I was watching some YouTube. I heard some shriek from outside, kind of like the same shriek that parakeet made when the crow attacked it the other day. And I go outside, it's gone. You know, no feathers, no blood. Probably it flew away somewhere in panic. But what I found is that it cannot fly too far because it's domesticated, right? So it just flies like, I don't know, 5 meters, 10 meters, and then it lands. So it definitely is not supposed to survive by itself. And then this morning I heard two women talking. They were talking about a bird, and one of them said, my daughter was so upset, I left the window open and the poor thing flew on the windowsill outside. It was sitting there for probably for a long time, and then we started looking for it and it was gone. Man, I didn't have the heart to tell them, but you know, they lost it, not me. I tried to help it, I saved it from that crow, but it refused to eat anything. Ah, this road is closed anyway. I don't know why we have a red. So yeah, no more bluebird. Okay, here we have a little bit of a hill, but I don't feel it yet. We're coming into a shoulder again, as you can see. So very wide road, fields on the left, industrial buildings on the right. And the wind is at it again, which means that the ride back will be beautiful. Well, I made it to the top of the hill, past some trucking company yard. Now we have this RV storage place, the lanes combine, so it's no longer a divided highway, it becomes a 2-lane highway. This was a long but very gentle hill. Oh, I see a fellow cyclist on the other side. All right, let's see what happens with the shoulder. Yeah, it's definitely right. It's definitely more narrow, but still okay. Yeah, it's very gentle, long hills. I saw that guy was a bit struggling because, yeah, I can feel I'm going down now, so he was going up. Wide open spaces, and I mentioned this before, psychologists always say that what causes stress when you live in a large city is because your gaze cannot travel far. It always stopped by all those buildings and stuff, and so you feel like trapped, whereas humans are supposed to live like this, you know, where you look one direction, you can see like 20 kilometers away. So something like this experience, like cycling like this through open fields, should help distress yourself, you know, recharge your batteries, recharge your nervous system. So yeah, I was on this road in my 5-ton truck. They sent me probably another 10 kilometers east. There was a some kind of substation there, and the guys rented a telehandler, and I went there. And I see the telehandler, but it's behind the fence, and the gate is locked. There's no way in, nobody's around. So I had to turn around and go back to the base. Не солоно хлебавши. So very short uphill. See, this is where probably the rich people live, I don't know. And the speed limit was 80, now it's 100. Another RV place. Yeah, over here everybody in the angle has a RV because we're close to the States and close to the mountains, and people love to travel. Yeah, this is going down and then up. It's gonna be interesting on the way back. to cancel the route on Apple Maps because it kept sending me on detour. So what I did, I switched it to a car route. Right away it shows me straight line because I wanted to be able to see the distance. So right now I'm at 14 kilometers, which means I already did 8, which flew by pretty fast. Time flies when you're having fun. Now we're going up. But again, this is the perfect. I'm so glad that I went faster than I originally wanted to when I was changing the axle ratio. So originally what I had 44.18, so I wanted to go to 44.16, but they didn't have that sprocket in my size, you know, like width wise. And the guy says we have 15. Said, oh, all right, I'll take it. So now I have 44.15, which is what, 2.9 something rotations of the wheel for one rotation of the pedals, which is pretty close to ideal ratio for single speed bikes, I think. So my next bike is coming next week. It's also single speed but with a twist, and it's coming already with all upgrades: wider saddle, phone holder like this, straps for the pedals, what else? Oh yeah, water bottle holder. So basically when I assemble it, because it's coming in a box, right? It'll definitely will require some assembly. So when I assemble it, it'll be ready to rock and roll. Unlike here where I had to go and buy these parts. Like I didn't have the holder, I didn't have the water bottle thing, I didn't have the saddle. But I'm really comfortable with this saddle. I don't know the one that's coming, is it comfortable enough, but it's definitely wider than standard saddle, and it has a hole in the middle, you know, specifically for men. That's what I wanted. That's what my current seat has, and it makes things so much more comfortable in that department, you know. All right, so here we're getting into some hills, boys and girls. Not this one, but in the distance I see there's gonna be a hill. So this is Range Road 284. Man, the wind is getting stronger. It's coming from there. Yeah, it is a bit scary when these guys fly by, you know, 2 meters away at 100 kilometers an hour. So maybe on the way back I'll try that Apple Maps suggestion. It was trying to send me, I think it wanted to send me on less busy roads, but I don't want to ride on gravel roads. Like this is perfect for my bike. Okay, 13 kilometers left. Okay, see, now we're going down, but then it'll be a pretty steep climb, and it's very long too. But I think that's the only one. I remember this when I was doing the reconnaissance in my truck. I see lots of cows over there. Yeah, there's gonna be a long climb on the way back if I survive this ride. Well, my goal is to do whatever I can to stay on the bike. I don't care how slow I go up that hill, but I want to stay on the bike. I don't want to walk. Is gonna be white. It looks very pretty in the picture. So remember, I did the same, you know, when usually once a year our family would go to region where my father grew up, a small village with like 3 houses left, and they had a bike, and so I would do the same thing. It was like a single speed regular road bike, and I would just go like this in a square. Maybe 20, 30, 40 kilometers, you know? And then I would come home and tell my parents where I went. I'll give them the name of the little village I reached, or like the river, you know, some kind of landmark, right? And my father would go like, "No, come on, Seryoshka. That's not possible. That's like 30 kilometers from here." So yeah, what do you think? I'm fooling around? I'm telling you, I was really good on the bike when I was in my early teens and 20s, and then when I came back from the army, I was probably in the best shape of my life, because I was able to run like jogs, you know, slowly, but 13 kilometers one way and then turn around and go back. So I did 26 kilometers jogging. All right, here we go. Look at this. It's probably a kilometer long. Man. I'll stop for a break at the top. See, for now I'm sitting. But if things get really tough, I'll stand up and use my body weight to pedal. Somebody was speeding. I think it's the guy with the trailer. See, people fly here, but there's still cops. Where was he hiding, I wonder? Okay. I'm using my feet. Holy moly. Man. Now look, still no sight of the cop. Which means that that guy is not stopping. Wow. So he was probably chasing him for a long time. Kilometers left. Thank you, Miss Google. Sorry, Miss Apple. Now we're going down. Look, still no sight of the stopped vehicle with the cop. Man, is that guy crazy or what? He's trying to outrun cops that have radios. You cannot outrun a radio. Oh wow, this will be good on the way back. Doing like 45 clicks now. Holy moly. Yeah, this one probably I won't make it on the bike on the way back. I'll have to walk. Too steep. Still would not never trade this one for a multi-gear bike. Never. Single speed is where it's at. Little girls need gears. A real man only need one speed, one gear. That's it. Makes you stronger. Alright, so now it's flat. 8 kilometers left. Now we're coming to somewhere in the distance. There should be the town of Catherine with a K. Catherine with a K. Well, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm enjoying it as much as I do. I so look forward to these Sunday trips, and to keep things interesting, and for my YouTube channel I try to find a different route every week. Now remember, in Russian, for some reason it's in my head, that mechanism that makes that sound in Russian is called трещотка, from the word трещать, or make that noise. So to translate from Russian, it basically means the thing that makes that noise, that a rattling noise. Kind of like a rattler, if you translate literally from Russian into English. Коксу, Коля, давай! Пошел, родимый, пошел! Superman. If only I had a bike like this when I was growing up, man, it would be a dream. Seven kilometers. Making progress. Small hill, no big deal. Something landed on my glasses. Check this out. Still no sight of the cop. Unbelievable. That guy was really trying to get away. But all I gotta do is radio ahead, and let's say the same Highway 9, set up a roadblock, and then just shoot at his tires. You know what's he gonna do? Yeah, this is gorgeous. So now we're approaching 791. That sounds like the highway where I went with my truck to pick up the telehandler. But I remember it was a unpaved road. And I drove like I think that's the one, because I see it's not paved. And I drove like 4 kilometers there towards that little structure behind a gate. And I call my boss and say, hey, I see our telehandler behind the fence, but I cannot get to it. Yeah, that's where I went last time. Here, this road, in my truck. Okay, 6.5 clicks. We can do it. But that's still only as much as I did last time. So 23 is 46. I need 4 kilometers more. Well, 3 kilometers is left, which means I did 20. Doesn't feel like it. Like it's so easy. 20 kilometers on this bike, I don't know, it feels easy. Same fields, passed a small lake before, did a small climb, but it's pretty much steady, more or less flat. Coming to a railroad crossing. Would hate to be stopped for one of those mega trains that are 3 kilometers long. Still no sight of the cop. Now I think one possible scenario is that why I don't see them is that he was not chasing that guy, he was just driving with a siren, so he was trying to push those guys to the curb so that he can pass. I think that's the only reasonable explanation. Otherwise I don't see how a truck with a trailer can outrun a cop in a pickup truck with a V8. And it's interesting, most roads going north are all dirt roads. Like north is this way, Edmonton, Red Deer. But now I'm going east, kind of like towards that town where I worked in construction for 2 months, Drumheller. So if you take Highway 9 going north, you'll end up in Drumheller, which is famous for its museum, where I have all those creatures, you know, from the past. What do they call them? 2 kilometers. All right, so where's Highway 9? Oh, it's probably behind that hill over there. Another rundown farm with an RV parked on blocks. So I remember when I was trucking through US and Canada in my semi-truck, everywhere I go I would see RVs parked in the yard with a sign for sale. I don't know, people buy them, and I guess they're not that cheap, right? So you locked into payments for like 30 years, and then they try to sell them. Okay, Catherine. Oh wait, Catherine? I thought it was Catherine. Catherine. Uh-huh. That means I'm close. So it's somewhere over there. It's not even on a major highway. But see, the road is paved. This is Range Road 273. It's paved that way. 1.6 kilometers. Alright, so that means that Highway 9 will be after this, after I climb this hill. It'll be at the bottom. And that would mark 23 clicks. Easy peasy. So I hope somebody will find this video helpful, right? If you want to go for a ride, so you see what the route is like. It is a bit dangerous because you're, even though the shoulder's pretty wide, but there's still vehicles passing by, and not all of them move away from you. But life is dangerous no matter where you go. All right, I see Highway 9. 1 kilometer, yep. I see a big red stop sign. And I see vehicles going from north to south. That one is much busier than this.
In 1 kilometer, arrive at your destination.
Thank you. I cannot say that you've been very helpful, because I had to switch to car routing instead of bike because you were sending me into some jungles. Meters. Beautiful. So then we'll just turn around and I'll try Apple Maps again and see if it's gonna send me again in that extended route, or because you never know, now the position, my location is different. Maybe it'll send me in a straight line. Okay, and the sign says if we go left or north, we're gonna hit Irricana and Bizeker. Interesting names. And here it is on the right. Junction, Alberta Highway 9 welcomes you. I cannot believe it. I'm 23 kilometers away from my car. And that unfinished cup of Americano. And this road actually continues after. But I didn't want to cross Highway 9. Alright, that's it. I'll just turn around here. So 23 kilometers is done. So let's see if I if I cancel this and route, okay, go back, cancel. Oh, parked car. Parked car. We found my parked car. No, wait. That's not where my car is parked, you stupid. Okay, we have to start the Bluetooth. All right. It's not. Oh, I guess I didn't add that tag in there. So I have a tag in my car, but because it's a new phone, finish setup. See location by satellite. Shoot, so I forgot to add my tag. So we'll have to. So it thinks that parked car is at my home. All right, Starbucks. Recently viewed. Or no, that's not the one. Son of a gun. Starbucks near me. All right, now we're talking. There we go. That's the one. Let's go on a bicycle. $29 kilometers. See, like, I don't understand. Why is it sending me like this? So it's sending me through K-turn and then like that. And so now it's 29 kilometers instead of 23. Like, what's wrong with it? But now I need extra kilometers. Well, what if that road is dirt road, you know? I cannot see it. I cannot see if it's dirt or not. Okay, hold on. Let me check on Google Maps. Yeah, I couldn't see the street view on Google Maps. I saw that it's the road that it sent me on. Like, the first one is okay, it goes to that K-turn. But then I have to turn left or west. But actually it's okay because that's 29 kilometers, right? So plus 23. That would allow me to set a personal record over 50 kilometers. Maybe there's less hills in there, I don't know. But if that road is dirt, I'll have to turn around and go back. So we'll keep recording until the battery is dead, because this is kind of like a new development. Because yeah, this one does have a couple of bad hills, but overall, you know, for 23 clicks, it's pretty good. So we're turning in 1.1 kilometers. We're turning on the Range Road 273, the one I passed over there. it's nice when people do that, but sometimes there's oncoming traffic or they don't care and they just flash by next to you. Yeah, I remember when I worked in towing. What was it, like 1999, 2000? And they would send you a Highway 401 in Toronto because the guy does not know how to change a tire. And so you sit there on the shoulder and all these semi-trucks are flying by, you know, just too dangerous. Like they were pushing so much air, you know, when they pass you, that whole car shakes. Actually, one guy came up with an idea of using that air in some special tunnels. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So this guy wanted to create, like, he wanted to put semi-trucks underground, like not all the time, but let's say under the city, build a road inside a tunnel. And so when the trucks pass, all that air that they're pushing would be used to create electric energy with some, I'm guessing, kind of like fans. You know, and this guy said it's legitimate, it would work, but it was too expensive, you know, to build all this. But it's interesting how many byproducts semi-trucks create, you know, like wind that can be used for energy. All right, here it is. So 23 and 29, what is that? 9 and 3, 12, 52. Okay, I have plenty of water. Actually, it would be more interesting to go on a different route on the way back. Otherwise, it would be just boring. So here we go.
Turn left onto Township Road 264.
Yeah, that one, 264, okay. But you see, this one, the shoulders are much more narrow. So I don't understand what kind of algorithm Apple Maps is using to decide that this is better for bicycles. The only explanation is, I think it's because there's less traffic, maybe. But as soon as I turn, there's the pickup truck behind me, you know? Well, actually, yeah, look, there's maximum 30, but that's on school days. So now they can do 200. So 3 kilometers, we're turning left, okay. And probably that's where that 29 comes from. So it's 3 kilometers this way, and then 3 kilometers to get back. So that's 6, which adds to the original 23. Yeah, well, that's good. Like I said, if I see that it's a bad road, that 264, I'll just turn around, go back, and that will give me the same 6 kilometers extra. And the second explanation can be that they might be less, that road might be less hilly than this 566. But I don't know, it's all the same, I think. Cathern Community Association. There must be a school somewhere here, because the school zone ends. I didn't see a school. Probably somewhere in the bushes over there. I like the smell of that tar, you know, on tires. See, now we have no shoulder at all. Like, not paved shoulder anyway. So this, like I said, traffic is probably the only factor that Apple Maps took in, that there's less traffic here. And the pavement is more rough, lots of cracks. Oh, by the way, also next week finally my bales are coming, and for some reason the deal I got on Amazon, there's 2 bales in one package, which originally I thought I would just connect 2 bales to the same bike, but now since I'll be having a second bike, it's perfect. So which is kind of funny, right? So for this, I bought this bike with no bell, and I'm waiting for the bell. Now for the second bike, the bell will be already here, but no bike. All right, so where's that road? 1.3 kilometers. Okay, I'll give you guys the secret about the second bike, because one thing I want to learn how to ride backwards, and it's not possible on a bike like this because you need a fixed gear. And some people will call me crazy, but that's what I got. The second bike, it's a fixed gear bike, and I was thinking about this when I was flying down that hill at 45 kilometers an hour. If I was on a fixed gear bike, I would have to pedal like crazy, or just take my feet off the pedals, because on a fixed gear bike the pedals spin no matter what. But it makes it more interesting. That's why you need straps. That's why I'm gonna attach straps to the pedal, so you can pull, not just push, you know, but pull on the pedals. And also that bike allows you to do lots of tricks. And now I realize actually that I grew up with those bikes in front of my eyes, but people only use them in circus. You know those clowns, they had bikes with very small gear in the front, and they were all fixed gear because they could ride backwards, they could spin the wheel. Yeah, the whole wheel was spinning. They could do like 180. They could go on the front, you know, lift the rear wheel, lift the front wheel, and then they had the single wheel bikes, you know, just a single wheel, no steering wheel, and you sit on top of the wheel. And the same story, they could ride in any direction because it was a fixed gear bike. So they're definitely an interesting thing to try, you know, but I wouldn't want to use them going down a hill like that. So my plan is take it somewhere, you know, flat ground like downtown Calgary. So that's the road.
Turn left onto Township Road 264.
And I have a bad feeling about this mission. Look at this. And fuck you, Miss Apple. I'm not going on this. Yeah, if I had the wider tires, like, you know, gravel bike, but I don't want to cut my tires. So this stupid thing and drought. That's it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a car.
Starting route to Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks in a car. Okay.
Head south on Range Road 273.
So I did 23 on the main road, then 3 here. That's 26. And now it says we have 24 kilometers left.
3.2 kilometers. Turn right to Township Road 262.
Which is perfect. So I'll be at 50 kilometers. So mission accomplished. So a little setback, but we can go back, no problemo.